Mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Brick Something News. Better late than never. Hi, I'm Brick Something, and joining me today once again is my awesome co-host for the day, Yoko McCann. What's going on, Yoko?
Hi, everyone. Hi, Brick. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. I think you're the second person to do twice. Yeah, last week I had Thanos on, who actually pushed me to do this show regularly. That was our 51st episode. So this is like sort of season 2, I guess.
Oh,
and you're co-host number 2.
Awesome.
So, yeah, happy to have you here. The last time we spoke was, I think, oh my gosh, maybe in November or something.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, you've been doing
a lot.
I
was here, but I cannot tell you what time of year it was.
Yeah. That's fine. I can tell you what happened last week. Oh no, right. Well, but you've been like doing all sorts of stuff since then, and we're traveling, which is kind of, as I put in the description and let folks know this week, that I wanted to pick your brain because my brain is totally not here right now. Because in a couple of weeks, me and the family are going to be in Japan.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And you were there in March.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long was that trip?
It was about 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was first of many times? Or?
No, the first time since pandemic, so I think 2018 was my last trip there. And then I lived there as a toddler. And then so growing up I'd go back more often, and then took a long break, so like actually when I went in 2018 was really my first time back as an adult again. So
nice.
It was nice to do it again, and I know I'll be back there next year, so it's exciting. I'd like to go every year or two, from here on out.
Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm officially jealous, but I'll be watching. I'll be watching from home. Excited. I watch every celebration coverage. There was a time, I think it was the year of Rogue One, where they live streamed most of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, up ridiculous amount, time of day, just sort of glued
to watch everything. Yeah. Nice.
So it's going to be a good year, I think, and I'm really excited. Let's talk a little bit of Star Wars today too. Sure. Some Acolyte.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so before we get started, let's make sure that everyone knows what's going on. If you're looking for actual news, you might see a little bit of that, but it's actually an acronym standing for the Needless Ephemeral We Saw, because it's basically my excuse to hang out with another nerd and talk geeky random things, whether it's new, old, whatever. And so we'll go through it, and along the bottom there, you'll sort of see this thing popping up, and every now and then you might see a little QR code. If you want to use that thing, it'll take you to a document after the live stream is over, and it'll have all the links for you to follow along and check out everything that we spoke about. If you're watching live, either myself or Thanos will drop it in the chat if you want to check that out. Okay, and let's go ahead and see who is here with us now. First off, a long time ago, someone wanted to declare Team Yoko. So I think that's in life.
Yeah.
I don't, because I don't think anybody's on my team. But yay! Bat Wars Grumps is with you. I love it.
Titans.
Is that what that is? Are you sure that's what that is? I don't know. I've heard some things recently on the internet. People have been teaching things about emojis. That's. What's going on, Star? Great to see you here. And please, for real, DM me. I want to see your art. Thanos, hello again, sir. Thank you so much for all your help. Dorlax, witness me. I witness you. I see you, and you will be riding on to Valhalla. Fury Road, by any chance? Furiosa? Not yet? No. Mad Max? No?
Haven't even.
Okay. Ever?
Ever.
Cool.
I'm hit or miss with pop culture.
I know you're basically not old like myself, but yes. No. Let's see who else is here. Oz, hello, Oz. Great to see you. Hey, you got an oi. No chewing. Great to see you here. What is good? Everything is good right now because I got a couple more days before the school year ends. Let's see who else. Again, Moss, Allison, Troy, Retro Toy Princess. Greetings. No summer children today. Yeah, my bad. That was totally me. Sorry for the delay. So we are here now. Winger Lose, hello. Ray Paz, hello. Kind of, but no, not really. Let's see. Ewok. Yes, man. The Ewok threw me off for sure. All that Kickstarter marketing stuff. I was pretending to be someone of Yoko's caliber handling a marketing campaign. I tried. Hey Joe, what's going on? Thank you for hanging out. See, look, now, yeah, this is what happens. I was planning on being here. I didn't quite make it, but I'm planning on being here. This one's 2 waves. Right?
Yeah.
That's all that is. That's not
very innocent. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Very innocent 2 waves.
Oh, you guys. Let's see. Hey Joe. Sorry, I'm going through the chat. See, this is what happens. People are like, where are you? We're just going to talk amongst ourselves. Yes, great MTV from the 80s vibes. Is that a pop reference?
I get it. I get that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I know that reference. Let's see. People are not travelers, but if there's any place I'd want to go see, it's Japan. Absolutely, you need to go. You can find out, do the Takara Tomy stuff, learn all about your Micronauts and Microman, which I know you love. Matthew Matson, great to see you. Thank you so much. A lot of people want to go there. Great, let's take them there. Going to Japan is a lifelong dream of mine. Absolutely, I want to go to Akihabara and go to all the vintage game shops there. Nolan is here saying hello to all of us. So polite. Obi-Wan Chingonas. Oh man, I want to be like, orale. Yeah. That's my budget soundboard right there.
Sounds better than Ernie's though.
See, now he wants to make sure that it's known. I don't think it's nearly as innocent.
It's high tense. It's high tense. I swear.
I don't know. See that win or lose? Like they're all like. Yeah. That's for the chat that maybe isn't picking up on this. What do you think those emojis mean? Please, what's your understanding of those emojis? It's a conversation over on the Fallen Fett Chronicles and Toymigos. They've got great theories. Let's see. Jeff White, hello. Studied abroad in Japan during college. Quite the experience. Trust in the Force, the app. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. The Acolyte is gonna cook. Man, I'm so excited for some High Republic goodness. Brian Brink, hello to you. And I think that is it. Yeah, thank you so much, folks, for stopping by. I really appreciate you all. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Some of you already picked up on it. We're going to talk to Acolyte. We're going to talk some Japan, but there are some sort of news-y things to talk about. It is June today. Is it June 2nd? Yeah, today is June 2nd, which means it is also the beginning of Pride Month. So to start off, I appreciate Sir Dork for dropping this. This is apparently an old shot from 2022, but it embraces kind of where I'm at right now, both with Pride and Star Wars. So I love it. I'm glad that this guy got out of the Empire and is just celebrating his best life.
So absolutely.
Yeah. Instead of just badly shooting at people and pretending, I think for the record, that's what it was. A lot of those stormtroopers were conscientious objectors and were like secretly for the Alliance. So they intentionally shot like
Finn, right?
Yeah. Finn's a good dude. All right. So anyway, great job. And I just love the sort of, I always love this about Sir Dork's post, showing us a little bit about how he does his shots, especially because he does everything outdoors.
That's
and
cool.
So capturing the images and then that's what it translates to. So, and always sharing how it's done. Appreciate that. Look at that custom paint.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Why doesn't Disney do that? Like that feels like, I guess that's maybe some year now. We got the droid, right? The Pride
Let's say we're
droid.
out of ideas for the droids, maybe.
Yeah. Get us some troopers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, cute stuff. Okay. Moving on. I did just want to shout out some friends real quick who I know for different reasons are created merch shops specifically to like raise some funds for some projects they want to do. First off, I'm always hanging out with Oz from Ostradamus Toys most Saturdays in their clubhouse. And so he, unfortunately, his machine died. So he hasn't been able to stream and do the kind of things that he normally does. He's been doing it off of a phone and it's not quite the same. So I want to throw this out there. Check out Oz's stuff. Help him towards a new computer fund. That one looked like a, sorry. But yeah, so check it out. There's all sorts of goodies here, you know, merch galore. So check that out. And thank you, Thanos, for dropping those in. And then just one more, Metro. Oh yeah, perfect. Mega J Retro has his Geek Proud shot. So we go from Pride to Geek Proud. And there you go, Mega J Retro. Just wanted to shout those two out. He's also raising funds for a upcoming project. He's trying to get out to SDCC from Ontario. So let's help bring him out. So there you go. Do you have a merch store?
I don't. No.
I know every now and then it comes up on the Fallen Fett and like, hey, you should make that on a shirt. You make
yeah. Ernie's waiting for me to set up our merch shop, I guess.
He talks sometimes like he's no, that we got that, we got this.
I actually totally forgot. I had one for Midnight 30 back when I was, streaming over on Twitch, and so I was like, oh, I guess technically I have a merch store, so I should revisit that one of these days. I'll put it on the to-do list.
Yeah, it's one of the many things on the to-dos. Technically, I have stuff. I've been doing stuff on Redbubble for a while, but I never really push it much. But sorry. Yes. Okay. So moving on. Thank you, Mega J and Oz, both of whom actually have been super supportive. And I was on the first time I was ever on a live stream was with Oz. And then not too long after that, Mega J brought me over to his. So there you go, folks. Let's get into the news. Okay. So let's talk action figures really quickly. I don't know if have you ever heard of a line called Brutal Realm?
I have not.
New. Okay. Super new. Let me actually give some context here. So this is Brutal Realm, and they showed some stuff really, really early on, and I wanted to just share these. So these concepts here caught my eye, because I'm always kind of like intrigued by seeing some new ideas, new stories, new perspectives in the toy game. And so they showed some concept art of this dude. And then I was sort of reading it because I read Yoko. Right. I do. Yeah. We read this here. Yes. Yeah. So this is Ogun, god of iron in West Africa, Yoruba mythology, and first king of the wondrous city Ife. And, like we got He-Man, big buff blonde dude. We've got Conan, like we've got all sorts of things. We've got Thor, sort of the Norse mythology. But yeah, like I saw this and I was like, oh my God, that's dope. Someone is taking inspiration for toys from African mythology and deities. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I started looking through and then I saw like, oh, right on, sort of like some ancient Sumerian stuff. I was like, yeah, I haven't seen that before. I've seen barbarians. Cool. Seen that. Oh, right on. Like dude named Khan. A little weird, but that's fine. Like, so it was this kind of stuff that really intrigued me. I know that we're not lacking in big buff muscular dudes. But we are lacking in certain types of big buff muscular dudes. Mm-hmm. And so yeah. That excited me. We got dude here. Oops. Native American from the Wakinian tribe. So I love this, and I love that they're doing the research. Some good folks that have done work on other lines are involved, and they've been sort of like teasing a Kickstarter, and that's supposed to happen this month. Nice. So with that, they sent me some stuff that's exclusive that I wanted to share today. And so this is that first Ogun character I was showing you, and they've already sort of shown the posability and all that, and they're just like, here, this is a shot that we haven't really shown. So I was like, hey, thank you for that. What's your take so far on what I've shown and what you're seeing right here?
Oh, I mean, I think it's always cool when so those are all like historical, like they didn't make up these characters. These are from actual mythological stories.
Some of them are sort of characters, but they're based on they've researched it and tried to create.
I think that's always cool. Like, it's secretly educational, right? And so I'm always down for that.
Me too. And it just, like, can you imagine when I was growing up, all the figures that I had access to, none of that reflected this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So now it's existing as default for other kids, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They also just, don't freak out, folks. If you're like, man, but I like my big buff blonde guys. They got them too. And this is Cronin. He's there. And this is a shot that has not been revealed elsewhere. And it's a prototype of this character, but showing the articulation. This is a pose. This ability right here is not something that's really common, particularly in domestic figures. It's the ability to cross your arms like that, which like one would think would be like needed, because a lot of these characters do that. Like He-Man did that thing, and did I have the power? But you could never do that with He-Man toys. So this is kind of a big deal. So this is coming, so that's great. But we're talking about like, give us some variety and diversity. There's no women. Like, it's big buff dudes.
Yeah.
So I was super happy because they know that I understand what they're trying to do. And so they're like, hey, we've got the thing that's perfect for you to reveal. And that's that, like, they actually are going to acknowledge that there are women in this world. So this is the first time anyone's seeing their basic buck. This is a piece of art that they use as sort of that they then will draw on top of or paint on top of, create characters. So this is the concept art for their female buck. And obviously there's an aesthetic. Everybody here like eats a lot of protein and lifts a lot, and is in constant ketosis. So, but this is the first time folks are seeing the women warriors that I'm not exactly sure what's going to be necessarily available in the Kickstarter, if this will be like a stretch goal or what, because it's obviously very different tooling from the rest of that stuff. But I think it's pretty cool that we're going to get one, like, they're bringing in women into the line, but they're also like, we're going to have them match the same sort of exaggerated superhuman anatomy as well. So they still got that gigantic mega buffness. Thoughts?
That's cool. Yeah, I'm curious to see what characters they pull.
Yeah, for sure. I was wondering that too.
Stories? Yeah.
Which is kind of cool that they sent me this too. So they said, here is the first character that they're looking to do. I didn't get to follow up much, but my assumption is that it's like kind of an Amazon type thing, probably out of like rooted in like Greek mythology, maybe very Wonder Woman-ish, I guess. But we don't have like this kind of body type much, right? There's like Big Barda in DC. There are a couple things coming out of Japan, but like, I don't know, to think that this will be kind of their standard buck. Again, it's a funny thing, right? Like, gigantic buff people in this world, but I love that they didn't go like, okay, well, the women are going to be decidedly different, very like slim build in this world where like these guys look like they eat a cow every day.
Right. So do the women. Equality.
Yeah, they all eat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. It's not bad for not very good for their planet, but hey, whatever. We don't know much about it else, but I was flattered that they were wanting to share some stuff, and I'm really excited about
That's great. Yeah.
So Brutal Realm Kickstarter coming sometime in June. That's the promise / the threat. So get your wallets ready. Cool. let's move on and just look at a couple of quick things. I don't remember if I showed you this person's work before, but this is monking. But I just wanted to share some custom work and kind of get it out of the way before we focus more on what we're going to talk about today. Yeah, custom work.
Like, I wasn't warned about this brutality.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Trigger warning. As will be removed and things will be shoved on your body and your dead carcass. Yeah, it's always wonderful for me to sort of see. It's one thing for people like Brutal Realm to design new figures and, you know, do the whole production process, but then other people to look at existing figures and have a vision for what they could be, and then do all the sculpting is always fascinating to me. Just kind of take you, and I'm a process person, so everything from like, you know, taking epoxy sculpt clay-like stuff and rolling it out and playing with paint. And, you know, you're kind of like, there wasn't much in this post where they were like, you couldn't actually read and cheat. They just said, like, here's a custom figure that's been really hard to do. And you have to sit there and watch the video and kind of seeing it all come together. But it turns out that it's something from a mobile game based on the Metal Gear series called Metal Gear Acid 2. But to fast forward, just look at this art. I love this. Like, this is people taking their art and craft skills and just creating beautiful one-off customs. And here's the finished product.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Having no idea who this is, but it looks amazing.
I'm with you. I didn't know this game existed. I didn't know what it was. Just like, oh, and you can kind of see where all those, like that little clay kind of stuff was being laid in to create this stars, and I think some of the veins were already there, and you can see the muscles. And
which is such a cool touch, right? Because you could take a shortcut and paint, like try to paint that in, but to actually sculpt that in first, that's pretty cool. And
the fur too, like to inlay kind of fur. I don't know the story with this guy, but I hope it's not like an ape that was shaven, but no judgment.
Me out though.
Yeah,
they look so real, you know, like.
Yeah, I say it a lot on this show where it's one thing where we're in this place where it's not like, oh, Mattel and Hasbro make figures. It's like Mattel, Hasbro, Jada, you know, it's like all these new toy lines and that NECA, Super 7 and on and on. And then there's all these indies, Spiro, Four Horsemen, and then there's stuff coming out of overseas where like people don't know if they're the same company or what. And then there's the true imports. Like there's toys everywhere. And on top of that, just because like people have access to the tools and can share info on how to do things, like people do customs like this. And anyway, I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to be alive, to be able to still see it.
Is that where we're at? We're happy to be alive.
Man, honestly, yeah, maybe it's better off that you don't watch Fury Road or Furiosa, because that's like where my brain is. Like, man, what can I do to avoid this from becoming reality? And then I turn on the TV and I'm like, oh, too late. And that's where I go like, give me toys, make me forget. So I guess this is what he was going for. This is the character that was that he was trying to achieve. So there's like, I mean,
his looks like better than that, right?
100% agree. Yeah. And that's a cool thing. It's like it's people's interpretation, like the layers of art and creativity in this. So anyway, cool stuff. Let's keep going. Have you seen these?
No, I have not. That's fine. That's close enough.
This is the tiniest. The post says the tiniest elf. I shared these with a couple of weeks ago with Trevor Williams, and he was just like, "What is this? Silicone little elves?" But this is
silicone too. That's
yes. So it's that fun.
No. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got like and the paint job on it. It's so here. If you couldn't see, let me zoom in for you. Please. This is the kind of thing that I think Ernie would theorize as if like this has been in existence this entire time. We don't know about it.
Oh yeah, Ernie would say he's seen him before, like in
But
real life.
let me show you some of the other stuff. So it's a cool little artist called Creatures in My Bag, and maybe you'll appreciate this one.
Oh yeah, that's still a little.
Still weird.
Still a little too real.
Too real. Hi Yoko. Hi. Yeah, I think it's great, but then they do all sorts of other things. How about monkeys? Monkeys more your thing?
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
Check out the inlaid hair though. Like,
yeah,
done one by one. Okay.
Your chat loves these.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I should probably. Yeah, I'm so up. So these again. Yes, these again. Suffer. The guy who loves Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Sometimes you just got to go a little soft. But no, I was surprised because they posted this new one and it's so tiny. It fits in your tiny little hand. I don't know if that like Dobby or what.
I thought it was Dobby when you first pulled it up, but.
Yep. Dobby, says Marcus.
Yeah.
What a toy. What a lovely toy. Jedi mind trick. Why though? Why? Wait, so the big buff naked dudes and women were fine. And then we get to the little cute little elf and like, okay, Grumps, there's a line. I found the line. Awesome. Obi-Wan, yeah, they do this one. So it's a simple repaint, but this one's much smaller. But yes, to your point, these are actual silicone. So they have that realistic, lifelike vibe. He'll pay 50.
I don't think I could hold one. That would
too weird.
Yeah.
Especially with their eyes. Never mind, that's too dark. But I'd pay $50 for one. Baby Plunderlings, Allison Troy. Really, Allison? Come on. Like you're always saying, my summer children. That is your summer child right there. From a distance. Oh, sorry. And then cannot even. Okay, my bad. But yes. Area 51 evidence leaked, and it looks like Grogu. Yeah, sleep is overrated. Stop trying to normalize these. Stop trying to keep us in this box, Adam. Come on. Thank you, Thanos. These are amazing. Baby Simeon, sure. See? No, wait. Jedi Mind Trick was saying no. Okay, hold on. These are the weird things you're looking for. You want these. And see, there you go. No, that's just a little weird. Imagine if you squeeze it and its head blew up, so it looked like Mac and Me. Familiar with that reference? No. Okay. All right. We'll move on. Understood. But whatever. Come on, folks. Needless ephemera. Let's something a little bit maybe more I guess status quo for these parts. Let's talk action figures. I love Mythic Legions. Are you familiar with the Mythic Legions line?
I mean, I'm familiar with them. I do not have any. Yeah.
Okay. Well, they did a wonderful thing just last week or so, or maybe a week and a half. They announced that they were doing this big event for last Friday, and it was going to be a full wave of figures. That's not normal for them. They usually do that in November. So it's kind of this big deal. The Four Horsemen Studios has been around as a studio for 25 years, so it's a special year. And this action figure line's been around for 10. So they want to do this special thing. Who was it? Oz and Action Figs and I did a live stream watch along with them on Friday. And I'll just keep it quick because I wasn't going to go too deep in these. But there's sort of 3 that I thought I could share with you in the chat today. And these are 3 that I think there might be one other one that I definitely want. But this is Kai Pacha. Just, I don't know, any reactions to the photo or to the figure?
It's a great photo from Trevor.
Absolutely.
He looks cool. I like cats.
Does it look, there's a level of realism to what Four Horsemen does that blows me away.
Yeah.
Like to think that that's a hand-painted object. And then on top of that, they're usually pretty consistent. So what you see here is pretty close to what we're going to get. And imagine like a factory where these are being made in the thousands, where like a team of people are just able to reproduce this stuff is badass. So there it is, Cat Warrior. And if you're not really into the cat, you get the Papa Smurf and the Green Dude as an alternate. I'm pretty sure those are the real names. And stabby stab stuff.
Mhm.
And keys.
The keys are fun. I saw that in the shot. Yeah.
And they're loose,
Yeah.
which is so cool.
Yeah.
So you saw that in the shot. Did he have his keys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Featured
Mhm.
prominently.
Yeah.
Sweet. So that's one of them. Let's see. What else I want to... Oh, and the bio and all of that is on the Store Horseman site, or Source Horseman. Here's another one. Creepy, fun. This is as a something as a spirit bender. This is sort of like a second take on an existing figure. Beautiful soft goods by the folks at CJSM. And then Raising the Dead. Beautiful photo from Trevor once again. Just capturing the character and all of that. But I think she's wonderful. I think she's the only woman in this line, though, of about 10 or 9 figures. But she's definitely a highly demanded one, which is kind of nice. Like, a lot of us weren't here from the beginning and weren't able to get this figure. And if we wanted to, we'd be spending ridiculous amounts of money. But here she is now for another like $30 some, direct from the Horseman. Beautiful effects, throwing skulls. I absolutely love this head sculpt. It's been reused a couple times. That's the other thing with this wave, is that there a lot of reuse. But I'm excited for it. That's the beauty of this line. Unlike a lot of lines, it's built like Lego, like a system where you can pop and swap pieces. So every time they release something, it's like a new piece in the inventory that they could use later. So, what did you think? Face tattoo? I think that might work for you. No?
Yeah.
If you want to go like 90s tribal.
Yeah.
So that's as a spirit bender. And then maybe the third last one to look at would be this one. So in the Mythic Legions world, this is the... I'll start here. So they said it's shui, which sounded way too Wayne's World to me. Like shui. I don't know. I would have gone I look at that maybe shui or zhui.
I would say shui.
Yeah. But so in the Legions community, often a lot of these characters are named after people and are tributes from actual fans or people in the company. I'm claiming this one is mine. So this is my tribute figure. And so there you go. That's Brick. I'll give myself maybe about 5 years. And no joke, he actually looks like one of my uncles.
Yeah.
So I'm not just saying that because he's Asian, but he's a particular type of Asian, the shape of the eyes. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to look like. Have you ever done those face? There's a couple years back where there was this.
I remember when everyone was doing that aging thing, but no, I did. I was good not knowing.
So I did it, and I was surprised to see that I looked almost exactly like my uncle.
Yeah.
And I look like this dude. So, but I love it. See the conversation earlier about the diversity and just sort of seeing more different types of folks reflected in figures. And this is a big character in the lore too. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. Just there's more of that beautiful shot from Trevor, and we'll just take a quick look at the figure, the soft goods. So I'll be going to Legions Con, and part of me is thinking I think I could put that outfit together. So I don't know. I'm thinking I might do some cosplay.
Nice.
I'm gonna claim it.
Beard?
The beard, maybe not.
The younger version.
This will be 5 years before this version.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go like this.
5 years
and
before.
Yeah, it takes about 5 years to get that, especially with magic. But look at the colors.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Wizard knows how to dress.
Yeah.
Good boots, some good smart boots. I don't know if I can pull that off. But yeah, and you'll appreciate this. Do you see that? He reads. He carries around books with him.
You never know when you have a few spare minutes to read, you know?
Yeah. This is before smartphones and Kindles. So, all right. And we'll do one more figure and then let's get into like 2 nerdy conversations that I know that you and I can have. So sometimes people take legions and make other characters. I love this Din Djarin tribute figure that One Oak Customs Hans is prepping for IshCon, which is in August. So I don't know. Again, because of the way these figures are made, like people can take all the parts and mishmash and put stuff together. And so, cool. And behind him is a set of Tamiya paints. As a kid, I used to say Tamiya, but yeah, Japanese company out there that I'm trying to get to their town, because that whole town is sort of celebrates that this big modeling culture comes out of there because of this company. And so like all their signage around town looks like sprues, plastic parts on there's a modeling word for it, but like, you know, you kind of break them off, those little plastic. So all their signage looks like that.
Oh, really?
So like, yeah, it's really cute and really cool. So anyway, yeah, again, my brain is in Japan. So, all right. Star Wars, Mandalorian. Let me ask you this. You do Boba Squadron, you do Star Wars. Do you have like a sort of a favorite part of Star Wars, whether that's like a trilogy or an era or like this stuff like Mandalorian?
Rebels.
Clone
Wars, Clone Wars, Rebels for me. The Rebels #1.
Did you watch those in that order, or did you start with Rebels then Clone
No,
Wars?
I watched Clone Wars first.
Okay. And were you watching it as it was coming out?
No. Okay.
Were you alive as it was coming out?
I was alive.
Okay, good.
But I was late to Star Wars, right? As a Star Wars, I'm a later Star Wars fan.
Can I ask how you started with that? How'd you?
Oh, have you not heard this?
No, I haven't.
I did not. So I was working at Funko when Force Awakens was coming out. We were getting ready for Force Friday, and that was when I was like, maybe I should watch these movies, because I had never seen it until the lead up to Force Awakens, and I finally sat down and I watched them all, and like I liked them, but I didn't fall in love with Star Wars until Force Awakens, actually. And I would still say for that reason that Force Awakens is still my favorite of the films, because I fell in love with Rey and with BB-8, and that really pulled me in and cemented me as a Star Wars fan. Yeah.
I am old. So yes, I was 1 year old when the first movie came out. And I loved those movies. And then wasn't super into the prequels when they came out. Clone Wars I actually watched as they were coming out, and it was like, it wasn't my favorite thing, but I was like, it's still Star Wars. And that's how I felt about the prequels too. Yeah. There were some moments of haterism there, but the sequels, I'm with you. Like, I'm totally with you. I was so excited. First Rebels was the first thing that the Disney company had put out. And I watched that as it was coming out, and I had a lot of fun with that. But TFA, The Force Awakens, I was like, yes, like my kids will have some new Star Wars that like matches kind of the storytelling of today and has, different types of people in it. So I love it as well. Yeah. That said, I think we're about to like enter a whole new era. Pun not intended, but yeah, that works. And that's the High Republic in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Tuesday. They're doing an early release, so we don't have to like wait up and do stupid things.
Yeah. No, yeah. Sounds like it's going to be Tuesday prime time.
Are you all going to do after shows?
Yeah. We're going to do Boba Squadron the way we did with Ahsoka. So we'll watch it when it drops, and then do our stream shortly after on Tuesday night.
Oh, it will be that same day. Perfect. Tuesday night.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know, are they going to do all of them like that on Tuesdays, or is it just for the special premiere?
I think they will, if they're doing the, and it's 2 episodes this week too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. So have you done much looking into, you guys have talked about it, but do you explore the High Republic at all?
So I don't know. I tried to read the books, and then I realized I accidentally read the, I'm getting yelled at by a cat. I think when they first dropped the books, there was like 3 or 4 different story arcs going on at once. There's like the main story arc and the young adult one, and I had bought the books, and then I thought I got like the audio or something, or Kindle. I got the wrong one, and I realized that I had gotten the first young adult series. So I was listening to those, and I was like, well, I started it, I might as well keep going. So I think I listened to 2 or 3 of those, and then I meant to go back and read like the main arc, and I haven't gotten to it yet. So I haven't. Yeah.
But those count. What do you think of those young adult ones? Did you
the
have
one
fun with them?
with the I forget his name, Geode, right? Or,
yeah. Yeah, Geode, the rock,
Geo,
the famous rock character.
You got to use your imagination a little bit. But
yeah,
it's funny,
Yeah,
it's not something we should take too seriously.
Which is fun. So we were just talking about like, what's your entry point? You came in the Clone Wars, like everything that we mentioned, whether it was the Clone Wars, Rebels, the original trilogy, prequel, they're all very different. Right. And so like I've just found like folks who take things a little too seriously, I kind of like, it's Star Wars. Like even that first one, I remember one of the weird, even as a kid, do you remember the Grindin who was like the spy in Tatooine who reports them to the Empire? I don't know if you remember, he's got like a long snout. But I saw that and just like got really silly as a kid. And I was like, oh, that looks like a body part. And like, you can't take it that seriously.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But I just kind of went with it. It was like, oh, that's cool. So anyway, I definitely check out the big sort of first novel.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you enjoyed the YA stuff, because I think a lot of people brush it off. But it's fun. It's super fun.
It's like such an easy read, like
yeah.
Look
at you practicing reading. Real quick, hello to Sunny Sundries. Thank you for stopping in. And look, we got this guy stopping in. Hello there. Hey Kev. And and real quick, going back, thank you. That was the name of the city I was thinking of, Shizuoka, the model city. Rick Jones is here. Sup, nerds. I take offense. I don't say sup. And okay. So the Acolyte. The premise is this is like the teaser poster, which like I'm excited for, like the notion of, wait, what's that? A lightsaber? So like this is bringing us back to a show that will fully have lightsabers. That wasn't expected in The Mandalorian, and we kind of eventually got there. Obviously Ahsoka was there, etc. But it says, in an age of light, a darkness rises, because the High Republic is meant to be this like bright, shiny era of the galaxy, right? Where the Jedi are like numerous, and they're definitely held in higher regard than they are even in the prequels. A lot more idealistic too, and a lot more open-minded, like less dogmatic. So because of that, like there's all sorts of different ways of practicing being a Jedi and all of that, versus a little bit more of the I don't think that's true kind of like prequel kind of thing, where they're like, no, I don't think this could be the chosen one. You must listen to me. The council has spoken kind of thing. So all of that to me is exciting. And then you've got all of a sudden the blood. I don't know. I saw this. I'm intrigued. And everything so far that's come out of it, I just keep getting more excited.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that everybody else is, because like there's a lot on the internet.
Yeah.
But I look at this stuff and I'm like, dude, from Squid Game's in it.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the showrunner, Leslie Headland?
No, I'm not.
Russian Doll? See, you do that reading thing. The rest of us watch a lot of TV. And so they're on Netflix, amazing series that like plays with some fun kind of timey-wimey weirdness. Not exactly, but it's just weird. So I was like, oh, I wonder, weird, but also incredibly character driven.
Yeah. And
so like I want to see that person's take on Star Wars. And then they showed us the trailers, and there's all sorts of like Star Wars goodness in here. Have you all talked the trailer? What were some of the things that like stuck out?
I mean, we've been trying to not. I think all 4 of us. Well, I don't know. We've been trying to not watch too much about it. Like we watched the first trailer. I saw the extended scene that was at the end of Phantom Menace in theaters. So I saw that. And I'm not like going out of my way to not see stuff, but I'm not going out of my way to watch stuff either. You know?
Okay, close your eyes. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm like, it's fine.
Shoving it.
This is fine. I've seen that one with the whip, right?
Yeah, that's why, because I thought you all were talking about, because
Yeah.
the other
So, yeah,
day.
no, we talked about it a little bit, but I'm not like worried about seeing something. I'm just, you know, trying. If it's my choice, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch.
Sure.
Especially at this point, right? With it coming out on Tuesday. But I don't know. I think a new era of storytelling, a new all these new characters that we don't know anything about. I think that's exciting. You know.
Yep.
And the cast looks incredible. And yeah, now I'm excited.
We got like a new Wookiee in there, played by the same guy who played Chewbacca in the sequels too. So that's exciting. A Wookiee Jedi. There has been a Wookiee Jedi in the High Republic, but this will be the first Wookiee Jedi on screen that we're seeing. So for anybody who's not super familiar with the High Republic, I want to recommend one of my favorite places to get anything Star Wars is Star Wars Explained. Because they've always been super positive, but also ridiculously thorough. They're like, both of them have been like champions in trivia contests and stuff, the Damons. And they also got a chance to check out the premiere down in LA and visit Lucasfilm. So there's that if you want to sort of see their most recent video. But this is like a quick 6-minute run through of phase 1 and phase 2 of the High Republic. I'm 100% certain you don't need it to watch this show. They intentionally designed it that way. But if you're curious, and I'm just saying it because I love it, and I think we need more new things in Star Wars, and this is exactly that. It's a huge publishing effort, comics, books, and not enough people, frankly, like are aware of it, which I understand. Like the broad sort of Star Wars audience mainly sticks to like the movies and then the shows.
Yeah. Like not even the animation, right? So
not even the animation, but like that's why I'm extra excited about Tuesday, because it's like, okay, cool, now we're really peeling off a little, and I suspect that it's all still going to be very connected and beautiful. So there's that. And then the other thing that I wanted to share, one of my favorite content places in general is Screen Crush. You ever check that out?
Yeah.
I love Screen Crush. It's to the point where it's become my kids. It's so bad that we'll watch something, and then my kid, when we're done, my oldest will turn to me and say, "Can we watch the Screen Crush of it?"
Yeah. It's just the immediate next step.
Yeah, it's totally the next step. And so, but they did a quick recap of everything from the High Republic. Again, if you're interested and curious, and there's really only, as far as we know, one character that is from the publishing that's in this. So again, you don't really need to know much. And then you can be really nerdy. Raise your hand in the chat if you've ever gone to Wikipedia, non-ironically, because if you so, I appreciate you, because it makes me feel less alone. So check out their High Republic entry, and you can do the Yoko thing, and look, you can read. I
have like a reading list of all the literature that's been opened on my my phone browser for years. It feels like for whenever I get around to it, to knowing where to start.
Yeah. I like, browser tabs for days of things that you may or may not get to someday.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's go ahead and shift gears, because I know what I really, really wanted to talk to you about was Japan. Because as I sort of shared, we are going to be going, me and the family, 2 kids, my partner, Joanna. And this is kind of a big deal. It'll be our first time out of the continent. We technically, as a family, went to Canada, which I hear is a different country from ours, but the same continent. But my kids were like, I don't get it. This is a different country. Like, speak the same language. It seems like here. We went to Vancouver. So from San Francisco to Vancouver was kind of like, I don't get it. They were just like, what's the difference?
Right. Yeah.
So now we're going to Japan, and you've already established you've been there before. I've been there 1, 2, 3 other times. Yeah, 3 other times, but those were not necessary. I used to do music and we were touring, and it was like literally play, sleep, move, play, sleep, move. And, you know, if you had time after sound check, before the show, you walk around and got lost for a little bit. So this is like really, I feel like my first time really exploring, hence, hey, Yoko, tell me what to do. And I watched all of your stuff. I think almost all of your stuff, but you just made me realize that you had some stuff on YouTube that I didn't see. I was mostly looking at the Instagram stuff.
Oh yeah, to catch up on my videos, I have a Japan playlist on my YouTube channel. So that's probably the easiest way to catch everything in order.
Okay.
I forget how many parts I had now, 15 or so. Plus there's a couple extra videos in there too.
Okay. Yeah, because on Instagram it was like what, 7 or so vlogs? Is that right?
No, like I had like 15. Like I had 15 like 1 minute mini vlogs.
Yeah. So I mix up there were like the vlogs, and then there were like showing what you got that.
I had a handful of the different cool stuff I got. And then the full Gundam video as well. So they're all in that playlist. That's probably the easiest way to see all of them.
Okay, cool. Well, let's go through some of the stuff. I don't necessarily have all of the stuff, but let's take a look. And if there's anything that you intentionally like, you think I should really know, or that the chat should see, we can always bring it up.
Yeah.
Let's start off with this, because this was your very first post.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, please enjoy this cat robot who fed me a delicious soup today. By the way, I'm in Japan.
Yeah.
And I think, and there I was. These are one of my kiddos' favorite things. So we actually have these sort of robots here now and then.
Yeah.
But they love it.
Yeah.
But they don't do the full thing with the face and all of that.
That was a fun surprise. I think a few of the chains have a cat robot, you know.
Okay.
So I didn't necessarily go here for the cat robot. I was pleasantly surprised when we got there. But it's fun.
Up in the Washington area, do you have places that do have like this kind of thing?
I haven't seen them, but I don't know. I don't get out much either. So
that's right.
Yeah.
It's all that reading. So, but do you order here through this and then they bring it?
So there's so most of the restaurants in Japan have like an iPad type of thing, right? Like a tablet, and the whole menu is on there. And so you scroll through, you order your, you can kind of see it on some of the tables, I think. But like,
that's right.
Most of the restaurants are like that. Either you walk in and order almost like on a vending machine, and then you pull out a ticket and hand that to your server, or there is a tablet at your table and you order from there off the whole menu, which is cool. Because also Japanese menus, almost like, I think they always have visuals for everything too, you know? So it helps so you know what you're ordering. Yeah. And they have it in English too. I've heard that some restaurants, though, if you ask for like the English menu, the prices will be higher. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
So try to order off the Japanese menus.
Last time I went, again, it was I think it was 2009 or 2010. It must have been 2009. Yeah. And so that's like, I say like, oh yeah, that's in the 2000s. But then I realized, oh wait, that's almost like 15 years ago, which is a trip to me. But I say that because like tablets weren't even that commmen,
right,
in general. So like it was all the vending machine, little ticket, or like point to this, and our phones didn't work there, and like you didn't have like the auto camera translation stuff. So we super relied on we had a host sort of drove us around and like kind of took care of the tour and stuff. So this is gonna be different. Can I ask you about that? What's that like? Actually, do you speak Japanese?
I do speak Japanese. Okay. Technically fluently, but not like super fluently, you know. Okay. So like I can't, like, people know that I'm a foreigner when I'm talking to them there, and my reading and writing is not so great either, you know. So
well, that was my question, because it was different back then. And can you give me the lowdown on what it might be like for people who don't?
For like, you know, especially if you're in the Tokyo area. So let's be clear about that. Like, you know, when people talk about going to Japan, usually they mean the Tokyo area, right? And I think if you're in Tokyo, it's probably very different from the rest of the country, which I have not actually explored much outside of Tokyo either. But in Tokyo, like, you know, it's obviously a major metropolitan area. Most of the signage like, I don't know if I saw anything that wasn't also in English, like in terms of like transportation signs, like in the train stations and things like that. So I think navigating is pretty easy if dependent on two things: A, reading, right? Reading the signs.
I'm
and,
good at that.
and B, if you have some sort of plan ahead of time. So do your research ahead of time, right? So and you can Google train schedules, right? So like
Right.
from this town to this town train, just Google that and it'll give you the schedule. So if you kind of have an idea of what you're looking for and like what line, which train line you're going to go on and stuff like that, and you know what to look for, then it's not, then it's a little bit easier to not let all the people and all the signs overwhelm you if you have a basic idea of what you're already trying to accomplish.
Yeah, we've definitely been doing the research, and in our research, people are also like speak highly of Google Maps and sort of even telling you train times and even pointing you to which platform and which staircase to take so that you're perfect, like better positioned.
Yeah.
So
that's not like for me, like I thought it was really like they make it really easy too. So like the different lines will be color coded too. So like if you're on the green one, like usually there's like a path on the floor too, or on the side of the wall or something being like green goes this way. Like so they help make it easier too.
But I'm colorblind. No, I'm not. Let's go back real quick. Some folks in terms of Star Wars, because these are great. I love it. Adam hasn't seen or read anything about the Acolyte. I'm out for a while, so great. I'm really curious to see what you and the family think. Adam Star saying, I wanted to see the political struggle between the various states to fill the void left by the collapse of the empire. I want a story of an average Joe fighting for his home and family in the galaxy. Okay, this won't be that if folks aren't familiar.
That feels like Andor, right?
Yes, no, that actually is. You're right. Collapse not, right? So not right. That era, but during. Andor is beautiful. That that is, I think at this point, my favorite Star Wars. But and I say at this point because honestly, I like a lot of it. My expectations are medium. Hope to be surprised. That's good.
That's fair.
Aaron, awesome. Hello. Thank you for stopping in. Toying around gets to the heart of it. Korean Jedi, done. So pumped. No. Yeah, Korean Jedi. Absolutely. But maybe not Korean. Proto-Korean from a galaxy far, far away. A long time ago. I was just going to say the era of this is about 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So well before the fall of the Empire, or even the existence of the Empire, even before the existence of a Palpatine. Of Palpatine. So let's see. Marcus Yee. I'm not fully familiar with the era, but the Star Wars Young Jedi adventures take place around the same time as the Acolyte show. It takes place, from my understanding, about 60, 70 years before. So the Acolyte show technically is it's sort of like the transition from the High Republic to the prequel era, or the Republic era. Is that right?
Young Jedi is set before Acolyte.
Yes, so it's kind of in the more of the middle of the High Republic, or if not towards the beginning. But yeah, that's a cartoon. Have you seen the cartoon?
I haven't. That's probably the one thing I haven't watched yet.
It's definitely really for really young folks. Yeah, but they're super cute, little blue bear looking Ewok.
Yeah, I've seen that guy.
So yeah, not necessarily during the Acolyte show. This is the era of when things start to get a little sketchy, and as we saw from maybe the trailers, maybe some familiar things start to happen that move us into the Phantom Menace. RDFC, sorry, hello to you, sir. And according to RDFC, there's some great people in Canada.
It's not me, Kev.
And Adam, who is from a little outside of Vancouver. Yes, very, very similar to Vancouver, even weather-wise at points. Yes, including these wonderful people. The Dole. The RDFC. I always forget. The Ryan Dole fan club. It used to say that, and now it's just so caught on that it's now just the acronym. Where can we find the director's cut, Yoko?
Funny you mentioned that. I'm still working on it, actually.
That was the one that you were saying.
Yeah. So I am working on a longer video for YouTube. So I don't know. I had a goal that I wanted to finish it before enablers this week, so I could say on enablers that I finished it, but I don't think that's going to happen. So maybe next enablers.
Cool. Alpha Magnus,
Subscribe. Stay
hello
tuned.
to you. Yep. Hello to you. GameQuest says specifically to you, it's been a few weeks, and konbanwa to Yoko, which is
Konbanwa
Japanese
is
for
good evening.
that's good evening. Okay. What about good morning? Do you know?
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. I just remember walking into stores and they're like, sumimasen. Is that like excuse me? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one word that we wanted to say because we wanted to apologize for being stupid Americans. And Toy Box of Doom, hello to you. Thank you all who are hanging out with us. Okay, moving on, more Japan stuff. Thank you. I will ask little things like that, especially around the language. I wondered. I assume now with technology, things are a little easier as well.
Yeah.
This was your first.
Are you going to go? There's a couple good questions in here, though. Are you going to go back to it later after that?
I don't know.
Or
Let's go. So good
Right
questions.
after
No, we can do it. Let's see. I've heard in Japan, everyone eats indoors. Yes. No one eats outside on the street as it's considered rude or inappropriate. Also, no trash cans on the street for that reason. Is that true?
And it is true. Yeah, people don't just eat on the go there, you know. I definitely had a couple times where I was like starving, so I would grab something at the convenience store, you know, at your 7-Eleven or Family Mart, and then like find like a quiet corner somewhere and like try to just, you know, eat really quick.
And you're like, look at her! Oh my god, she's eating.
But people don't just like walk around and eat at all. And the whole no garbage can thing is true too. And so I think a pro tip, is to have like your, have a plastic bag in your bag so you can kind of keep your own garbage until you get to the next garbage can. Clear it out.
Yeah, that was on tour. That was the go-to onigiri for days. Little one, and grab a couple and and then eat somewhere hidden. Love that. Alpha Magnus. Okay, glad you're safe. And absolutely true. Some GameQuest chimes in. Everyone's encouraged to take care of their own garbage, usually by taking it home in a few select. A lot of convenience stores have garbage cans. Is that right?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay. And my understanding was that this especially happened after, I don't know, some kind of public safety thing. I don't know if there was something that happened in a trash.
I think there was like they found a explosive device in a garbage can one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. What an odd concept. It's like, there's this explosive thing that can hurt people. We should probably create some level of policy.
Just get rid of all the garbage cans. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Let's do Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
This was the Ghibli Museum. And I was actually bummed when I saw this. And then you said that you couldn't kind of go in and take pictures.
Well, so you can go in. You just can't take pictures once you're inside.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, and it's like these tickets are a hot commodity. And they go out when I did it, so they go up on the 10th of the month prior. So if you were buying for June, they would have gone up May 10th, you know. And they keep, there's time slots each day, and it was like a Comic-Con ticket queue that you get thrown into when you go in to buy them. But I was able to get the day I wanted, the time I wanted, which was great. But it was they say no photos because they really want you to like immerse yourself in what you're seeing there. And it's like the whole museum
you're not distracted.
Right. Yeah. It's like decorated. It's so amazing. All this original art in there. They have a theater and they're showing a short too. And I was obsessed with the short I saw was about sumo wrestling mice.
Yeah.
And so then I had to buy this guy.
So cute.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. And then there's like a cafe there too. And so that was really cool. So that's there's the museum and then there's the park too. And the park, I forget which part of Japan it's in. It's a little bit further out, but it's brand new too. And there's still areas that are opening up. So I think in the park is like more photo ops and big, beautiful displays and things like that. So that you can go, for your photos and shopping, of course, the stores and stuff too. And they have different like lands based on some of the different films. So, there's like the bakery from Kiki's. There's like the forest from Spirited Away. Yeah. And things like the different areas like that you can go and visit and explore each area, and with the there's the photo op from Spirited Away with on the train next to
I love it.
things like that.
Yeah. Is it the same situation with the museum where you kind of have to plan a month in advance or anything like that for the park?
I think that might be a little bit easier to get tickets for.
Okay.
For the park, actually.
I definitely want to try that.
Yeah, look into that for sure.
Cool. But like, so did you do the park too or no?
I didn't do the park, no. Because I was traveling by myself a lot too, so I was like, something that's going to be a lot of photo ops is tough to do solo, right? So I saved that for a future trip, hopefully.
So can I ask, as far as the inside of the museum, what kinds of things, what was in the museum?
Oh my gosh, it's so cool. So like you walk in and then there's like the first room kind of shows like the animation process, and it shows, a lot of like what they use, to animate the characters and stuff. So there's like a lot of cool, like, like the motion and the lighting and like stuff like that they do. So you get to see like this whole exhibit of how they actually make their movies. And then like you walk through an area that's like, I think supposed to look like his office,
oh, cool.
It was just like with art everywhere. And I think there's one section that's a revolving exhibit. So when I was in there, it was all the art from The Boy and the Heron, which I haven't actually seen yet, but so it was all the original art from that film on display there.
That's cool. And so, but is it like, would you say like interactive kind of stuff, or like walk, read?
More walk, read.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, then you sit and watch the short too, which there's a few different times to do that during your time there. So I probably spent 2 or 3 hours there total to look at everything, to have lunch, and to shop at the special shop there.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the theater where you watch the short?
Theater, yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah. It's so hard because like I want to take photos of everything, and it's like
yeah.
Like I caught myself so many times being like about to take a picture and be like, oh no, I can't do that.
This is what they have there currently. That's cool. Yeah, we thought about the museum, and I saw your post, and I was like, oh yeah, I think that might not be something necessarily for the kids. But the park, I didn't realize there were two different places.
Yeah. And so then you can go up on the rooftop, and the one thing you're allowed to take pictures of, you can take pictures outside, and then the robot from Castle in the Sky is up on the rooftop there, so you could take photos of that, which is really cool. Yeah.
Well, let's go over to the people who I guess distribute Ghibli here in the States, and let me actually bring this version up so we can kind of scroll through. But you actually spent some time at the Disney resorts. Which parks? Both parks?
So I did one day at Disneyland, at Tokyo Disneyland. Okay.
Gotcha.
My last trip I did, I tried to fit both in, and I did most of the day at Disney Sea, and then spent a couple hours at the end of the day at Disneyland, and it was just too much to try to do in one day. So this time I was like, you know what, since I saw so much of Disney Sea last time, and part of Disney Sea was closed because they just opened up the new area too, so like a bunch, like not half the park, I'm exaggerating, but there was stuff that was closed at Disney Sea if I tried to go this time, where I was like, I'm just gonna focus, spend the day at Disneyland, and next time I'll go spend the day at Disney Sea again.
Okay. So, but you've been before, it sounds like.
I have yeah. Disney Sea and for anybody else, like if you only have time to spend at one park on your Japan trip, I would absolutely recommend Disney Sea, because the thing is, Disney Sea is not like any other park.
No.
So but if you want a true Disney experience, maybe Disneyland, but
right.
If you've seen the other Disneylands, Disney World,
they're
and stuff
similar.
Like that. Like I just think Disney Sea, is really special.
This is their small world, and just like even the decor, the paint job of it, it's so nice. The pastel colors.
Yeah.
I mentioned before we started that like me and the family are doing something different. So we initially were just going to go and like get some tickets and do the, not even deal with the like their version of like the fast pass or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
Priority
access pass.
But then in looking at it, like first off, the lines are off the hook. Is that true? Was it from your experience?
Yeah, I think I have a quick shot in there of because I went right at.
Well, I saw your intro getting into the park.
Before it, and I'm pretty sure that's where I caught COVID.
Gotcha.
I was definitely
Why? No, I'm just kidding.
right. Look at that crowd, isn't it?
Hmm.
So I got there. So the park opens at 9. I got there shortly after 8.
Okay.
And so that's the crowd I was waiting in
Yeah,
to get
totally.
in. And then I was in the park by 9:15. So
Okay.
you know, for a crowd of that size to get through in 15 minutes was not painful. The waiting in that crowd was a little bit painful. But like, and once you get through, and it's like, you know, there's like their area of Main Street is like this covered area, and it was totally bottlenecked all the way through there. But once you get in, everyone kind of disperses. But and like if you wait till later in the day, it's not going to be like that. You'll be able to get in. But those priority passes you can't book until you're through the gates.
Yes. So for the folks unfamiliar, like, so here in the States, like we can do those priority passes or whatever, and you get like, there's options now where you pay and you get that for a couple of different rides, and then you can pay for certain special rides to get basically walk onto them. But so we were doing the research
here when your ticket price is already like over $200 to get in, right?
Yes.
Tokyo Disneyland tickets, $60 for the day.
Yes.
And so it makes it a little bit easier to stomach.
100%. And that's where, okay, so that's where we're at. You know that, and the folks should know if they've watched the channel. And my brother, Ted, who was a co-host once, he hooks us up every year with like local tickets. So if we're in Florida or in the West Coast, we basically get into the park for ticket admission wise, we get in for free. So the pain of that is very different for us. We were looking over here and I was like, wow, that their tickets are actually cheap. So that was nice. I know their food is cheap.
So busy too. Yeah.
Yes. The food is cheaper. And the dollar is currently stronger than the yen. So stoked. So in that research though, there's a couple of things happening there. The brand new area in Disney Sea Fantasy Springs is opening. And like literally just opened. So it's going to be crazy. And the idea of like trying to wait and get into the park, because you, like you said, you can't do those priority passes till you get in. To even see Fantasy Springs, you have to get into the park, and it's a raffle, kind of like they were doing for Rise of the Resistance early on here in the States. So then we found out, no, there was this thing called vacation packages. You stay in the hotel, and then there's all sorts of perks, including the priority pass comes with it, and guaranteed entrance to Fantasy Springs on one day. So it was kind of a no-brainer. Then we did the math, and again, compared to what if we were paying for stuff here in the States, it actually is like a better deal. So we're having like the full-on spoiled. My kids are super spoiled. They're having like the uber bougie Japanese Disney experience. But there you go. Speaking of my brother, this was like stuff that he worked on. Actually,
the Beauty and the Beast ride.
Yeah. So he helped develop this stuff in Florida. For the first time around, and then he was that's why he was living in Japan for a while. Was working on this and that ride. What were you about to say about the Beauty?
I was going to say the Beauty and the Beast ride. If you're going to Disneyland, like that's the ride, right?
Yes.
And so for me, like that was my top priority. It was like I got to get on that ride, and like, you know, I had heard the horror stories that the wait times are like 3 hours, and like when I walked in at 9, by the time I got there 9:30, the wait was already almost 3 hours. But what I had done was I bought that priority access pass, which I say in my video, but I forget how much it was, like $15 or something like that. And I basically walked on to the ride. So like, so worth it. Worth it to do that.
We get to do that twice. But you only get to do it like, you don't get to keep doing it. So we get to do it once on one day and then another time. Because I want to see his work. There's some things that he's done that I still haven't ever seen. Like the Iron Man experience in Hong Kong. I've never been there, but someday. But I'm glad so sounds like you've been to Disney parks before. How does it rate compared to some of the things you've seen here?
I mean, I haven't been to I haven't been to like Paris or Hong Kong or Shanghai, you know, just both here and the 2 Tokyo parks. And I don't know. I always hate ranking things because like everything is its own experience, right? And it depends on so much else. Like it depends like who you're with, like, you know, like how the crowds are. Did you get to eat what you want? Like, you know, like the day there's so many different factors, I feel like, that make each trip more special. So I mean, I was totally solo for this whole day, so it was different. You know, it was it definitely had its moments where I was kind of like, oh, this would be more fun if I had a friend with me, or someone else with me. But it was also nice because like I could do what I wanted to do, right? So pros and cons to solo park days.
Okay.
But if you don't have a choice, if you're by yourself, I say do it. Like no one looked at me weird, like oh, you're doing this park day by yourself, like no one's bothered. and again, like you get to do what you want, and it's great. Oh, mobile ordering though, take advantage of mobile ordering for sure.
I love I've only done it once. No, that's not true. I've walked around by myself in other parks, but I love doing the parks by myself. I also like going to movies by myself. And I actually do like people, so it's not because I hate people. But would you agree with this from Game Quest that the Disney Sea fireworks show was more?
Yeah.
And that guess is over that big body of water. And got KJ Smith. Hello. Okay, moving on. Let me ask you: is there any one in particular that you definitely want me to look at? Otherwise, I can just go and
of my videos. I can't even remember anymore.
Okay, let's take a look at. Were there any cool merch or anything at Disney that you think?
So I think Disney Sea has the cooler merch than Disneyland too.
Okay.
Especially because like Duffy and Friends is big over there too, right? So they have all the Duffy merch that you can't really get anywhere else. I bought surprisingly very little. This is my favorite thing.
And this was
I have them right here
for popcorn, right?
Yes, you can buy them at the popcorn stands, and I've kept them here for in case I ever need it. But yeah. So your hands don't get dirty when you're eating your popcorn. It's great.
Brilliant. And yet you still got COVID. But yes, no, that's not how COVID works. But do you actually see people doing that though?
I don't know if I saw anyone doing it at the parks, but it's fun. I've used them on stream.
So at the parks you can eat outdoors, but you don't walk around. Is that right? You stop and eat?
I feel like people kind of, maybe popcorn's the one thing where people are kind of still walking around with,
Okay.
But generally, I don't know. There's a lot of foreigners at Disneyland too. So I think maybe there you see more people eating.
And this is fake food. You bought some fake food?
Yeah, that was like, I bought a lot of the I guess they do this in the US parks too, but it was like an add-on with your food order, where they're like, oh, you can get this the case, or that comes with it. So it's just a little plastic case, like a little jewelry box kind of thing.
Oh, okay. But the food didn't come in it.
No, it was like I picked up a macaron that looks like that and the case. Because like that case was 500 yen, so it's like that's like $3. So it's of course. Throw that in. I'll buy it.
Sure. What about food? Any treats that were there that you thought
the alien mochi are my favorite Disney treat of all time.
Okay.
Across universes.
What's the flavor? Like matcha or
no? Surprisingly, not matcha. It's chocolate strawberry and like a vanilla custard, and that one's my favorite. It's so good.
Huh. Okay.
And it has one of each. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good. It's just so good.
It'd be even better if they spoke. Oh, eat me.
Yeah.
Popcorn. What cool flavor of popcorn did you have?
I had the milk tea flavor, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend. It was okay, but like go I think go for curry or like one of the other like
savory.
Savory flavors. I think I've had the curry one before, and that was really good.
That milk tea, was it like even though it's not a savory one, are they super sweet popcorn?
It wasn't sweet at all. It was kind of
It was like unsweetened tea.
It was more of like a bittery tea taste. Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten that line, so I didn't know about the mobile. I didn't think to mobile order at first, and I was so hungry that I just got in, and I was between two of my ride times. So I just got into the shortest line, and it was for the milk tea popcorn. But
hey, what's the situation? I just thought about this. Like, if you were to bring in like packs of onigiri with you,
I think you can. Yeah, I saw people doing that. Yeah, I saw a lot of people eating it while they were waiting to go in too. And there's alcohol at this park too. So that is a cocoa.
Yeah, my kids are big drinkers. So
good. Yeah. That was
what is this?
Cocoa. It's hot cocoa with bourbon.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
it was
fun. Chilly that morning, so I was like, this is gonna warm me up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What was it in March? How cold are you talking?
I mean, it warmed up, but it was probably in the like mid 30s when in the mornings, you know, like my fingers were pretty icy there at first. Oh, the ears, like the ones I wore there, I bought those were $15.
Yeah,
The
everything
ears
is
at the
so
US
much
sharks are like
cheaper.
$30 these days,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I should have bought those. I didn't. Chicken sandwich ones. I would also highly recommend eating that chicken sandwich. So good.
I've never had. So those are the chicken sandwich ears.
Yeah.
Here's the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Here's what you ate.
Yeah.
And put them on your head.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see you, Japan. Was this out of a machine?
That's just there's something special about the tea. It's the vending machine behind it. That's cool.
Yeah, crap ton of machines everywhere. Yeah. The Disney fantasy, not that. The fantasy, this one, there it is.
Yeah.
The Fantasy Springs ones. Yeah. There's a gorgeous one where like a water feature's going through the machine and kind of creates the drinks, and then
there's actually a blind box series of the vending machines too. And I thought about buying them, but I really want this one, right? But I was like, I don't care. It wasn't worth the risk to me to not get this one. And I didn't want all of them. But I thought about
is this meant to be like a Baymax?
The cat,
okay.
Yeah, Baymax cat.
That's there's a Baymax cat?
Well, Baymax Good Luck cat.
Oh, gotcha. Oh,
Yeah.
there they are. Okay, so I'll look out for those.
Yeah,
that looks fun. I will be fully cheating.
They have them at Disney too, or they used to anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
They must.
Yeah, there will be no dietary restrictions there, so
you're gonna walk so much, you know. So
yeah.
It's
all right, and then let's do shopping. So you went through some pretty cool geeky places.
Yeah, probably three.
Sunshine
City.
3
big areas, I think, for shopping.
Okay, where's this one?
This is Ikebukuro. So there's the mall called Sunshine City, but even outside the mall, like walking from the train station to the mall is like it's like a mini Akihabara. They're calling it like the younger, hipper, up and coming Akihabara. So a lot of fun shops there too. But inside this mall, there's all the different brand shops. But also the big thing is this huge Bandai Namco cross store, I think is what they call it. So there's a whole section. It's over 3,000 gachapon machines.
Okay.
In there, so you can get lost in there for hours.
Are they unique though? Or is it like this section is basically the same thing and it repeats? Because that's frustrating.
They're unique.
Okay, cool. Love it.
There might have been some repetition, but like I would say easily 90% unique from what I remember.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
there's a Toys R Us in there.
There's
a Toys R Us in there too, which is fun for us Americans. The Marvel shop, the Ghibli stores are all so beautiful too.
Their Toys R Us though is like just everything, like great stuff. Yeah, that's what I remember from it. It was just sort of like, so I remember being with our host and I was like, hey, I'm really into nerdy things. Like, where do people go to like I was thinking like Japanese toys or whatever. Like, where are those spots? And he's like, Toys R Us. I was like, oh yeah, of course, Toys R Us. But then I went and they had, they had US toys, but also like a crap ton of awesome toys from Japan, some stuff from China.
That creme brulee ice cream was so good. I'm remembering.
Oh, that's my jam. I'm an ice cream person.
That's from 7-Eleven. Oh my God. Yeah. The convenience stores for sure for those. But this was a cool one. I could have spent more time here, I think. And there was even more that I didn't get to. There's like, I think there's like a mini pig cafe. Or some kind of animal cafe in there too that I didn't have time. And it's connected
we want to do that.
It's connected to an aquarium and a planetarium.
Okay. I'm going here for sure.
Yeah, some other cool things too.
That's like the kids' jam. Animals, but anything space too.
So definitely check out Sunshine City. That was
and
fun.
They're gonna be bored as hell when I'm looking at toys. My kids.
Maybe you guys can divide and conquer a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like peace. I'm gonna look at toys. Yeah. We're gonna go play with pigs.
Yeah.
So Kevin wants to let us know that there's lots of gaijin, which I believe is Japanese for cool people. No,
for foreigners.
Yeah, lots of foreigners. That's a gaijin. You can say it. Let's see. And yes, he bought those blind boxes.
And he hasn't opened them yet. Oh my god.
Nope. Yeah, we suffer from a similar disease, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Our stuff doesn't get open. Hey, Cop, good to see you. Fun fact, when watching Yoko's vlog series, you can learn to count in Japanese. Yes, that's that. What did you call it? That like slyly educational.
Oh, secretly educational.
Yeah. Don't forget to try Japan's ice cream crepes when you're there.
So
That sure, 100%. That sounds right up my alley. Yeah, look at that. That
was
convenience
so good.
store ice cream. All about it. Speaking of sweets, let's look at Pikachu sweets. What is this like a?
So that's the cafe. So that's like the mini cafe that's inside that mall in Ikebukuro. So there's the full Pokemon cafes too. Like there's one in, I forget where their locations are, but so this is like what a walk up one that you can get to without a reservation. Which is
so what kind of stuff do they have?
So they had a few different drinks and some snacks. Like a lot of it, I was there later in the day, so a lot of the stuff was sold out too. But they had some pastry type things or waffly type things. I can't really remember. Because
does it shock you with electricity when you bite it? No, like that?
No. But the drink was cute. The merch was cute. So. Oh yeah, you can kind of see the menu there. But
yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah. I basically there was only a few drinks I could choose from at the time I got there, and I was probably there like 3:00 in the afternoon, and everything was sold out. So, yeah,
like they're just sold out of food
for the day. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you got some merch too.
Yeah. Had to buy
I found it's funny when you said the menu. I was just looking at that. And I'm probably going to stand there staring at it, and well, this thing is rad. But I remember there I'd be like lost and looking at a map.
Yeah.
And after maybe about like a minute and a half, someone will come up and be like, "I can help you."
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. What about the back to Studio Ghibli, the store?
Oh, so so there's a chain of stores. I probably went to like 5 or 6 of these Ghibli stores during my week there. But
so this is in a couple different places.
Yeah.
But they have this in that same mall.
Yep.
Okay, so go to that mall. A lot of this. Okay, great.
Yeah.
What do they? What kind of stuff we talking?
Oh my gosh, everything. And the thing about like with the Japanese merch, because like Japanese homes are small, right? A lot of, I mean, they love their plushies in Japan for sure, but a lot of the other merch in Japan, fandom merch, is going to serve some kind of function in your home. I think
Sure.
instead of just like a toy. So
like a tissue box right there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like houseware items, like vases and kitchenware and home goods that are
and
centered around your fandom. So
cages for your cat. Yeah. Tote bags.
The bag. And so when I look through these videos, I'm like, God, there's so much more stuff I should have bought. Because like I actually bought shockingly little stuff. And like, but as I was editing these videos and everything, and I think maybe this is going to be my tip for you, Brick. It's like especially like the other video I'm working on too, I'm like, oh, I think I'm like, I want to make the videos, right? So I'm trying to capture the content. But I think you need to walk through everything twice. Once with your, like, if you're shooting, like walk through, get your footage, and then walk through it and look at stuff again with your eyeballs directly.
Yeah, I think I might not.
Stuff,
No, I think I might actually limit my recording.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I want to be with the fam, but I might do some stuff like maybe just me wandering when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that because that's what I want to do too, is just like really look at it, because I do find that I'm looking through the screen the entire time. I'm like,
Yeah. And I tried to be cognizant of that, and I think I think maybe at Disneyland I was a little bit more. But like some of these shops I walk through, I'm kind of like, oh, I feel like maybe I was filming and I got so overwhelmed with everything and all the people, especially.
Yeah.
That I was kind of like, oh, I think I missed some stuff I maybe would have bought.
All this stuff is super.
I wanted
cute.
all the kitchen stuff. And actually I'm so stupid because some of the stuff I went back home and I bought it on Amazon afterwards for more, but I was like, oh,
but it was much cheaper there.
I don't know, because I didn't want to look too closely, right? Like I don't want to be like, how much did I overpay for this?
Oh, sure.
But I bought some of the Totoro Sakura collection, like a teapot and tea kettle and a bowl and a spoon, that like they had at the store. It's in a couple of my shots, I think. And I went and bought it on Amazon afterwards because I was like, the Kiki stuff is so cute. I wish I should have bought all the Kiki stuff.
I was looking at my kids' favorite restaurant here. We've gone since they were babies. They totally know them. Is actually called Kiki, and it's sushi. Yeah. But you walk in and it's all Studio Ghibli stuff, including the front door is slanted and it's super cute. $3,300 for what though? 1 cup? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe the set. Did you pick up any of the plushies that transform into microwaves?
No, I didn't. Maybe
No,
next.
you didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Walkman turns into a robot. Yeah, so I'm excited about shopping. Wait, what does it say?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I buy this.
Why didn't I buy this? The
Absolutely.
the little Totoro with the Sakura
This one
is so cute.
Yeah. There's going to be so much cool
There's so much
stuff.
stuff. I'm like,
And I
yeah.
my youngest is really, really, really into anime right now. So
Yeah.
he in particular it's his birthday on the June 29th. So it's also kind of his birthday trip.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Oh, they
Reading
or
is so fun.
Shopao.
Yeah, it's a great shot. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything like
the-
this? Anything else that you think of the things you remember that I should look at before we get going?
Well, you were asking about the shopping area, so we can go really quickly. So Ikebukuro is one. Akihabara, of course, I think you
Right.
probably familiar
That's
with it.
definitely
That's
on the radar. Mhm.
And then this video shows that.
Can I ask you, when you say Akihabara, are there
Yeah.
particular stores or like buildings that I should check out?
This was the day I started not feel well, so I kind of cut my day short. But there is the Ami store in there, which was absolutely overwhelming, both in terms of stuff and people. And I think that was when I was like, I don't feel well, I should get out of here. Right. Like, I think it was like a bunch of different factors where I just got absolutely overwhelmed in that store and I went home. There's a Tamashii store, and then there's like a Kotobukiya flagship store. So there's a lot of stuff in Akihabara too. Plus, like if you're into like the gaming and all that, there's so much of that I didn't even touch this trip.
Yeah,
there too. So there's something for everyone there for sure. Nakano Broadway is I think people are starting to talk about it more, but a little bit of a gem, I think. But it's your retro
Broadway.
Nakano Broadway, yeah. Okay. It's your retro toy shopping there.
Okay, cool.
So,
vintage.
A lot of vintage toys, yeah. And everything. Like,
did you pay attention to pricing at all? Like, what's?
Yeah, some of the stuff was a little higher than I thought. But I think some of it, I again, I wasn't looking too closely.
Just curious, yeah.
But I think a lot of like the American toys that were in there, I thought, like, like because they have like the Legends and Black Series and stuff like that too, and those are definitely higher priced there, you know. But so the vintage stuff I didn't take as it's hard to say with all the different things they have, but
can't see the prices. Peanuts. Yeah, part of it is just going to be looking like
Nakano Broadway has like everything in there, every fandom.
It's going to be like window shopping. Ooh, I had that. See how much better, how well groomed Chewie was back in the day. Okay, so aside from Akihabara,
and then Nakano Broadway, and then Tokyo Station. So this is the train station, right? But if you're going through Tokyo Station, plan an extra couple hours, an hour or two, just to go through the shopping in that station, because there's like 20 some character shops. They call them character shops in Japan. So it's like it's your Pokemon store, your Ghibli store, your Ultraman store. Since Marcus, you mentioned that, there's a Kamen Rider store. There's a like all these different individual licensed shops in there. And then there's also a candy street. So it's like a bunch of different candy shops and a bunch of different and there's a ramen street in there too, with like a bunch of different ramen restaurants. So like you could spend a whole day in the basement of the Tokyo train station for sure.
Cool. That's definitely a to-do as well. Ramen for sure. And just like carb it up. And are they like the spots there? Like, are they the kinds of things where you have to wait in line from it, or not really?
In the train station?
For the ramen, I'm curious.
I didn't go there at all. But I feel like because it's a train station, people are going to be like, it's very busy in there, like sure. But I think people are in and out all day too, though. Yeah.
They're echoing what you're saying.
I can't really say.
Okay. Well, we will. And Marcus, I'm gonna figure it out. I might have some room in one of the carry-on. I don't know where the Ultramans are, Where's the Ultramans? Excuse me.
But yeah, there was a whole Ultraman shop in Tokyo Station.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll definitely spend time there. Was there any other sort of like areas or districts that
Like, I mean, that's where I went for shop. Well, Shibuya, of course, has a bunch of shopping, and Shinjuku too. But like those clusters of stores like that, I think those are your main spots.
Okay.
Harajuku, of course, too, right? So
did you by any chance check out any like live music while you were there?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's something I think I want to do and figure out.
Yeah. I've heard that live music is different. Like the very different experience in Japan though, because people are there to like to watch and listen, right? Yeah.
Yes. I love it.
They're not screaming along, right? Yeah.
Nope. And they're not just trying to like socialize. No, it was very nerve-wracking playing music there because it's like, oh my God, they hate us. And then you stop. And then it's like the loud, like, and then stops. Like, okay, cool. We're playing the next one now.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. People were so
you actually experienced it. That's cool. Yeah.
And then watching the other band. That's what I want to see. Some of the locals. They were just amazing players. Like embarrassed to play music with them because I'm like, did you see what they just did? Like they're amazing. They just really like, they pay more attention to their craft than I feel like I ever did.
Yeah.
All right.
This shot I want to give one more tip about food. Because with like if you get overwhelmed with restaurants, like if the wait times are too busy or like everybody wants something different, like the bigger malls, like those buildings, and usually in the basements there's like a big food court area. So a few nights actually, like I was like too tired. I was like, I didn't want to sit, I didn't want to go into a restaurant or something. So I would just I would go to like that, fancy food court in the basement of these malls. And then I could grab a shrimp katsu sandwich from one place and a sushi platter from another place, and then I would take it back to my hotel and eat there. So then you don't have to wait for a table or anything like that. So I think, and of course I did so many convenience store meals too, so which are so cheap and fast and amazing.
Yeah. Apparently, even some of the hotels that we're staying in have one inside, like a convenience store connected to it. So I'm like, okay, cool, we're good.
Yeah.
And the kids are gonna want like onigiri with all sorts of stuff inside, maybe some ramen. They love sushi, so like that's one of the things. And really, it's gonna be interesting being there with young people. So I'm excited both for them and for us to be with them because, I'm gonna be a kid, but for them, I don't know. They're really, really, really excited. So
that sandwich is so good too.
It looks good. That's why I stopped here. I was like, wait, what? Shrimp katsu? And it just, I'm super excited. I really feel like it's gonna be for the first time, just because it's gonna be so different.
It'll be a different experience. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like decades ago now. So whew. Anyways, anything else? Any other general tips, things I should consider?
I'm trying to think, be mindful of what side of the stairs to go up or on the escalators, there's the walking and the not walking.
Yes.
Don't get in the commuter's way, don't get in the commuter's way.
Yeah.
Don't talk on your cell phone in the trains.
Okay. I was going to ask about that and camera. What about the camera, like shooting stuff and like, do you just not? How did you manage shooting in public and stuff?
Well, so that's what I loved this little camera I got because it's so discreet that I didn't feel like, so this is my camera. So like people didn't know really what I was holding, I think most of the time.
Did other people have?
Everybody, like, especially like, like walking through like in Shibuya, for example, across the crossing, everyone has their phone or camera out, right? Trying to film their crossing and stuff. So it's definitely a thing people do. But
just because lately there've been reports of like them being frustrated with tourists, and I was like, oh,
I think those are like specific areas too, like especially if you're like in like the temples or like more sacred places, maybe be a little bit more considerate.
So Pikachu Cafe, sacred, not sacred?
Totally fine. I did see a lot of stores that would have signs that said no cameras though. So just kind of maybe look for that as you're going in too.
Sure. Hopefully they're helpful pictograms.
They are. There's usually a big camera crossed out. Yeah. There's a couple shots. I know I've seen some footage I've taken where I was like, oh, I wasn't supposed to film there. And they're usually too polite to say anything, but if you're doing it. But the one other pro tip is and I think this is like a cleanliness thing too, but like a lot of the restrooms.
Take a shower.
The restrooms. Don't be afraid of public restrooms. They're great.
I love the restrooms.
But have like a handkerchief or small towel with you, because not all of the restrooms have air dryers or paper. So I think carrying handkerchiefs is such a normal part of that culture too, that people just, the Ghibli Museum, that was one that's a standout for me, that there are no paper towels. So you're
walking around the Ghibli Museum with like,
so I was like, I'm glad I have but I was prepared. So I was like, oh, I'm glad I have my handkerchief to dry my hands in my purse. So yeah, that's good to know. We'll bring something to wipe up with. And I'm already there mentally. Like, I know I have to pretend like I can work this week, but then we'll be off. And on that note, as far as like streaming for folks, I won't even be going live next week because there is another commitment that I have. This is before I leave for Japan. So I'm as far as I know, I might be filming that the day of, and it'll premiere. So I think the next couple ones will all be pre-recorded but premiering at the same time, so 3:45 Pacific on Sundays. So look out for that. And so I will Thanos, if you're still around, if you could drop the links to, I've got a couple of links for Yoko. We didn't get to look at them as closely as we did last time, but Yoko is super busy on the internet, whether that's on the Instagram at Yoko McCann, on YouTube at Yoko McCann. But then you do a bunch of other shows on other places. So The Enablers, which is one of my favorite things because I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and Kev's great. But like the whole squadron is awesome. You guys are super cool, because I feel like I can get really nerdy about Star Wars. But I love hearing from a broad group of people. Yeah. You literally have people that are in Star Wars. Right. Yeah. We all have different entry points. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So I love that. And so it sounds like starting Tuesday, you guys are going to be pretty regular every week. Yeah. Trivia every week? Oh, probably not. No, probably not till whenever Tommy feels like blessing us with trivia. I assume at the end of the series. Yeah. Trivia about the Acolyte. Okay, cool. For the record, I won once. I got my TIE fighter last week from Kevin for winning. I felt so accomplished. I felt accomplished. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be cool. And then every week, every Wednesday over on every Wednesday on the Fallen Fett Chronicles. You said, oh yeah. I know. It's like I don't want to take ownership. It's okay. Ernie doesn't watch this show because he's usually napping. He takes a shower later, so he'll watch the later stuff. Yeah. So Ernie's channel on Wednesdays. I had been streaming on Tuesdays on my own, playing on Jedi Survivor, but I'll probably switch to Mondays while we have Boba Squadron on Tuesdays for the Acolyte. Okay. So I probably won't tomorrow, but starting the next week, I'll probably do some more gaming, and I have more Lorcana cards to open too, actually. So that'll be next Monday over on my channel, and then this week is Enablers on Thursday over on Kev's. So, beautiful. Yeah. Some toy enabling, and then you work with Rock Love. I don't know if you want to take that, but I still have that on the links as well. We talked a lot about Rock Love last time, so definitely check out that video as well as this one. I appreciate you coming through and helping me understand a little bit more about definitely what I want to be doing. Yeah. It was good to get some things confirmed and clarify some things about just faux pas and what to do. Here's my newest shot of Deadpool and Wolverine. Look at those. And she's flipping you off if you're in the UK. I know. Wait, was the other one a Deadpool one? Wolverine and Deadpool? Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's cool. They're belt rings. I know. Beautiful. I really want to wear one on each middle finger. You know what are they made of? Yeah, you could totally look sterling silver. Ooh. And then what do they do with the inlays of the yellow, like enamel? What is that? Hand painted enamel. Oh, that's awesome. So do you have like a whole Rock Love collection now? Yeah, I do. Like I was already a customer before, right? So right. And it's totally right up your alley as far as like it's super unique offerings for nerds. Okay, well, thank you. And also thanks for the friendly advice around my outreach for the show. I really appreciate that. That was really great. scolded you.
Yeah, no, it was good. I was telling her, yeah, I felt like Ernie there for a second. But anyway, thank you so much. We will then look for you tomorrow, I guess, on your channel.
Probably Boba Squadron Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then you start next Monday with the
I started a big project of reorganizing my room. So I probably want to work on that tomorrow instead of streaming. Yeah.
Before we go, wait a second. You said you're playing Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor? Okay.
Survivor. Yeah.
Ooh. How far are you? I haven't been following the stream.
I'm not sure.
Okay, then I won't say anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know anything about the story, the larger story, or has no one spoiled?
I don't know how it ends.
But you know about it.
Yeah.
You know where the name comes from.
The
Survivor
one that they found.
Yeah.
The vampire guy.
Yes.
Kind of looks like a vampire. Yeah.
Yeah. And like when he came from.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm just saying. Yeah. So then you're familiar with some High Republic stuff. Yeah. All right. That's what I wanted to throw out there. I just didn't want to spoil it for you if you didn't know. No. The rest of you, I don't care spoiling it. But the Jedi Survivor actually has a strong link to the High Republic, which is kind of cool. Yeah. See his costume and everything, like all fancy vampire. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's get out of here. Let's let everybody, including yourself, get on with their Sundays. But thank you all so much for hanging out with Yoko and myself. Again, next Sunday will be a pre-record. It's still actually not totally confirmed who it will be, but I will tell you right now that no matter who it is, they won't nearly be as cool as Yoko. Like, no way. There's just so future guests are nowhere near the near the status, and so that'll make more sense when it happens. Okay, folks, thank you all so much. I hope everybody has a wonderfully geeky week. I know I will, and my brain is already in Japan. So thanks again, Yoko. Good night, everybody.
My stomach wishes it were in Japan.
Oh yeah, we could go to the corner store right now and get some cheap onigiri, and like, yay! All right, folks.